Hey guys, Mike from Wrestling Then and Now. Thanks so much for checking out the YouTube channel and my great Gagne clips. If you're a wrestling figure collector, you got to support the company that Greg Gagne is a part of. You have to go right now to powertownwrestling.com, powertownwrestling.com, and you also need to go to thewrestlingcollection.com. Check out these unbelievable wrestling figures, the quality, the appearance. You have to see it to believe it. Go check it out. There's pre-sales going on right now. Go grab yourself one today. Mean Gene?
Mean Gene, terrific, phenomenal announcer, the best ever. We originally had Marty O'Neill, and Marty was the best interviewer of any of them. Gordon Soley, Gene Okerlund, all of them. He was a short little guy, played baseball, had glasses. Um, he covered baseball, not only played it, but he covered it. And he just brought that legitimate voice and things he said to the public on the broadcast. He just knew how to do it. And he got real sick one day. And we taped our interviews on Monday for all our out of town cities. And Saturday was our live show in Minneapolis. And Marty did the live show and they got real sick and wasn't going to be able to make it. I think he called us on a Friday. And Al DeRusha said, well, I worked with this guy, Gene Okerlund, and he used to be in the radio. He's now in TV sales. He said, let me try him. So he took Gene up to their cabin up north, and they spent the whole weekend watching Marty do interviews with the people. And Gene came back on that Monday, stepped right in, and it was gold. And Gene turned out, especially for the era when it rolled over to the WWE. I mean, he just fit in perfect. He was just personality, a character, and a great guy.
I didn't know you guys broke Gene in. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's how we broke him in. He spent Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday watching the tapes and the interviews that Marty O'Neill did and how he did them. And he came in on that Monday, and it was like he'd been there forever. And he had
Sherry
that
Martel?
Sherry Martel. Sure, was a wonderful young lady. She was great. She she knew the business and she knew how to get herself over for the people she was representing. And outside of the ring, fabulous woman, just great. Can never say a bad thing about Sherry, and a wonderful performer.
Yeah, she could talk. She can bump. She's
Said it all.
believable.
Oh,
Yeah.
and she was solid in the ring, boy. You didn't want to get in her way. She was good.
Dr. D?
Doctor, we weren't with David Schultz that much. He came in, Hogan wanted him to come in because they had a feud going somewhere. And David was a great performer in the ring. He's just a little hard to deal with, but a good guy, great performer. And, him and Hogan had a run that was right up there with the best of them. But, David was only with us a short time, and then he left for New York and bailed out and all that. So, and he was one of those guys. He could be, depending on the mood he was in when he came in, could be really on top of him, or he could be hard to work with. But all in all, really a good guy.
What about the young rockers? A young Shawn Michaels
Oh
and
my
Marty Jannetty?
God, you gotta be kidding me. Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels. So when they came to us, they were young, and we put them together. They each sent up pictures. Jannetty I think he was in Kansas City, and Shawn was down in San Antonio. And we needed a young tag team. I said, you know what? I got the pictures here. I said, I don't know how they work, but you know what? We need a young team, and they should, bring that those young ladies into the arenas that we need to have there. So we put them together, and with Buddy Rose and Doug Summers. And Doug and Buddy were good for them because they could teach them in the ring.
Right.
And they eventually got over really well, but they were really hard to deal with at that time. Janetti was just a tough one to work with. And Sean was too at the time. Sean would listen a little bit more, but then they'd go in and do their own thing. And they were hanging around Summers and Rose, and we had this big cage match, and they set them up in Las Vegas. And then they decided they weren't going in the ring until, and I didn't know this, but the lady that ran the showboat, she told me later that they all wanted X amount of dollars up front before they'd go in the ring. So I went back and they came in and said, "We're not going in the ring." I said, "That's fine. Don't worry about it." I said, there's 4 of us here that we'll do a cage match. We're not afraid of it. Whoa, wait. And I said, "No, whoa, wait." I said, "You're going to pull that crap here and try to hold us up. We'll just put 4 other guys in there." "But yeah, but we're, you got us on the main event." I said, "Well, you don't have to be on the main event because you're not going to pull that crap here." So eventually they went in the ring and they had a hell of a match. But, Sean broke off eventually, and, phenomenal performer, one of the best in the business. Janetti never got over his problems that he had.